Hey guys, Angie here from the Yoga Room. So in this video I'm going to be focusing on stretches that are particularly good if you feel that you're inflexible or if you do a lot of high intensity training like CrossFit or cycling or running. You choose when you do these stretches. You might want to start doing them daily or you might want to start doing them after your training sessions. A lot of the time when we've finished a training session we feel completely exhausted and stretching is the last thing you want to do, but you've got to do it because it's good for your muscles. Especially when you're warm, the muscles are actually more malleable, so you can actually find more length in the muscle tissue after you've done a training session or a workout. We're going to be going through some active stretches and some passive stretches, and we're going to be holding each stretch for 3 breaths, 3 slow breaths. Not only does this mean that you're going to be holding it for at least 20 to 30 seconds, which is the amount of time that you need to actually get into the stretch for the muscle, it also means that with the breathing, slow breathing, you're going to be calming your muscles down to try and relieve some of that tension. So let's get started. In this first part, we're going to be working on the lower part of the body, so everything from the hips down to the toes. What you might need is a couple of bricks or a couple of thick books if you don't have bricks. And you might need a pillow or 2. So grab those now if you feel like you need them. So we're going to start off with the hip flexors. So we're going to go for a low lunge. We're going to take the right leg forwards, and then you're just going to take your hips down towards that right ankle. If you see your knee going beyond your ankle, you've gone a little bit too far. You might need to slightly move that left knee back so that your right knee ends up directly on top of the right ankle. Take your right hand onto your right thigh, lift your left arm up, and if it feels okay, take it towards the right side. We're going to hold here for 3, 2, slow breathing, and 1. I'm just going to take that onto the other side. So take the hands down to the floor, switch legs, right leg goes back, left leg comes forwards, and you're going to send your pelvis down towards your left ankle. Again, just make sure your left knee stays over your left ankle, otherwise just wriggle that right leg back slightly. Left hand comes onto left thigh for support, right arm lifts up, and then you can take a stretch towards the left side if that feels comfortable. Holding for 3 breaths. 3, 2, 1. And releasing yourself out of that stretch. The next stretch we're going to go into is a passive stretch. So you're going to take your knees wider than your hips, quite a lot wider, and you're going to grab a pillow just in case you need it. So we're going to go into a wide-legged child's pose. So you're going to walk your hands forwards and rest your forehead towards the ground. Now, if you're really far away, your hips are really far away from your heels, this is where the pillow comes in. You can take the pillow in between your legs, then you can sit the bum down, and you can pad yourself with as many pillows as you need to get the pelvis to actually sink down into that position properly. If the floor feels really far away from you, bend up your elbows and place your forehead on your hands. And we're going to be holding here for 3 breaths. 3, really sinking the pelvis down. 2, feeling the breath go down into the belly. And 1. Feel free to stay there if you feel like it's quite comfortable. And if you're ready to come out, coming out and moving the pillow away. Next stretch we're going to do is a type of squat. So what you're going to do is take your feet just a little bit wider than your usual squat, and you're going to bend your knees. Now you're going to take your forearms to the inside of your thighs. You might be up here, you might be all the way down here. It just depends on your hip structure. This is definitely an active one, so just breathe through it and try to calm the body with the breath. So you're going to guide your knees out towards the sides until you start to feel a stretch along the inner thighs. See if you can sink your pelvis down just a little deeper, but not sinking down. So if you are super flexible, try not to sink all the way down into this. You want to feel the activation through the muscles as well. Holding for 3 breaths. 2. 1. Well done, just releasing that out, taking the body down to the floor. And if your legs need a bit of a break, come to lie flat on your front. And feel free to stay here for a couple of breaths. On to the next stretch, we're going to go for the quads. So you're going to grab hold of a wall or something sturdy. Let's go with the left leg first. Left heel comes into the bum. Take hold of the left toes or the left ankle. You're going to slightly push your hips forward so that you can feel a stretch through the quad. If you don't feel a stretch here, come back down to the floor, and instead you're going to bend up the knee and take hold of the foot and draw it in. Holding for 3 breaths. 3. 2. Feeling the muscles lengthen, getting rid of the lactic acid that's built up. And 1. Lovely, taking that over to the other side, so either holding onto the wall with your left hand, right heel comes into the bum, right knee points towards the floor, and slightly thrusting your hips forwards to get a stretch out into the quad. If you don't feel a stretch there, it's back down into your lunge, right hand to the floor, right knee bends, and you're taking hold of that right foot with the left hand. Holding for 3. 2. 1. And releasing that out. Now we're going to go into a hamstring stretch. So we might be against the wall or you might be down on the floor again, depending on how you feel this. So right hand connected to the wall, left leg extends forwards, and you're going to flex the left toes. Then you're going to bend up the right knee just until it meets the left. Then you're going to keep your spine long as you fold forwards until you start to feel a stretch in the back of the left leg. Keep those left toes flexed so you feel the stretch at the back of the leg. You can either keep your right hand there or you can bring your hands onto your right thigh. The other option of this is to come down to the floor. This is where you might need your bricks. Extend the left leg forwards. You might want to keep a slight bend in the left knee, and you start to fold forwards again until you feel the stretch. No reaching, you don't need to reach for your toes or reach down here with your spine curve. Just go back up to the wall if you feel like this is too much. And once you're there, breathing for 3. 'Keeping the toes flexed, 2. Keeping that left hip drawing back for 1. Good, and releasing that over to the other side. So either left hand to the wall, right leg extends forwards, flex the right toes, bend into your left knee until it meets the right. Keep your spine long, fold forwards until you feel the stretch. The hands can come onto the left thigh if you feel stable enough. If you're down on the floor, right leg extends forwards, keep both of your hips square to your right foot. You can use your bricks or take hands to the ground. Right knee can stay bent slightly, folding forwards with a long spine, 3 breaths. Well done, coming out of that. The next stretch we're going to go for is a toe stretch. So if you've got really tight toes, this is probably already going to feel quite intense for you, quite strong. So if that is the case, take the hands to the floor and just try to sink as much weight as you can back into the toes. We're only going to be here for 3 breaths, so if you can, bring all the weight there. Stretching up the toes and the soles of the feet actually brings a lot of balance and dexterity to your training. Holding for 3. 2. And 1. Well done, releasing that out. The next stretch we're going to do is for the calves and the ankles. So if you've got some stairs at home, this is going to be super easy for you. I'm just going to use this brick to demonstrate a stair. So you're just going to stand on the stair and you're going to go with 1 foot at a time, dropping the heel down to the floor until you feel a stretch in the calf and the ankle, holding for 3 breaths, switching, holding for 3 breaths. If you don't have a stair, you're going to be up against a wall. So you're going to tuck your toes up against the wall, and then you're going to try to bring your body as close to the wall as you possibly can so you can feel that stretch in the calf. Let's hold this for 3. 2. And 1. Lovely, then just switching sides. Left foot tucks up, and then draw your body as close towards the wall as you possibly can, holding for 3. 2. And 1. And releasing out. Thanks guys, I hope that helps to get your mobility and your training up that extra level that you're looking for. If you like our videos, please subscribe. There's a link down here and there's one just over here. And if you want more content and you want some more stretches and some more yoga classes, more HIIT classes, there's a link down below to become a member and join in. Thank you guys, see you here again very soon.